Hey, what's going on, guys? Red Ronald Music here, bringing you another video. Today I want to talk about the Forza Motorsport 7 demo, and I also want to talk about Project Cars, because I have been debating which one I want to actually buy. I already pretty much decided that I don't want both, just because they're a little too similar, and I don't want to buy both and not play one or the other. I would like to just spend my time on the one game that I buy. Basically, with this Forza 7 demo, they have actually, done some work. Like, the audio is completely different in the cars, the music's different, the sounds of the tracks are different, everything's a little different. And I like that. My best way to explain what this game is that, and I was thinking about this before, they didn't change much, but what they did change, they changed, a lot. And it's it's a nice thing, but my question is did they change enough? So between Project Cars 1 and Project Cars 2, they've added a lot more. They've changed their entire physics, though they did kind of have to be fair. The graphics are updated on there a little bit. They added new types of racing to the game. They've added new environments, they've added new tracks, they've added new cars, they did plenty of stuff. Forza, they're adding some new cars, but most of it comes from all of their older DLCs. And not much of it is too new. It's new to the, starting lineup of the game, but it's not new to the game in general. Forza did add a couple new tracks. They have Maple Valley back. They have Mugello, which you'll see in this demo here. But other than that, I don't know what else they added. I think they might have added one or two other tracks other than that. They have 700 cars, which is its main selling point. And that's a great selling point to have, to be honest. 700 cars, you're going to find something that you like. Project Cars, I think there's only 180 or 170. But that's also up from their older number as well. The original only had 80 cars or something like that. Well, in Forza 7, I noticed this when I first started playing. They did a lot with the camera that you might not even notice. So, when you go into a turn, and you go kind of fast into the turn, the car will lean ever so slightly in the cockpit view. And I really enjoy that. I had my Project Cars 1 set up like that, where the guy would lean when you go into a turn. And I thought it just added to the realism of the game, and I really like that they put it into this. They also added a lot of camera shake and motion blur and vignetting, or whatever you want to call it. Kind of like what Need for Speed Shift 2 had, or 1, where the screen would get really crazy looking when you go really fast. They did that in this game. I might suspect they increased the field of view as well, because I feel like the cameras are a little bit zoomed out in the cars, and I really like that. I wish we had the option to touch that and adjust it to our liking, because I usually like a really high field of view just to feel extra speed and intensity. That's how I have my Assetto Corsa set up, but I don't know. I don't think that's an option. They really did up the graphics in this one, though. Usually I'll say that and it'll be a little tiny bit from you noticed. You'll notice the difference between Forza 5 and 6. It's not too much, but it's not a little either. This game, they did it a lot because they obviously have that 4K Xbox X in mind. So they want to make it look good for that, and it shines just on the regular console as well. I don't know if this demo actually is 4K, but it looks great with the new textures. They have updated scenery. You'll see it in the GTR when I'm in the GTR, or you might have already seen it. I'm recording just a voiceover. You might see it once it's rain. They really highlighted it on that track. It's raining on the Nürburgring, and it's hideous and gray, and it's ugly, like rain is. And then towards the end of the race, it starts getting clear out, and you see the sky start to open up again, and the sun start to come through. And they really highlighted their new sky system, and they really show off their graphics. It's actually impressive. There was a leak originally with the Xbox X for like a scene on the Nürburgring, and it would show like the rain, and then it would show the new game with the rain, and it was very noticeable then too. I'll try to find that picture and put it in, but it was a long time ago that I saw that. Now, I don't even think that was on Forza 7. I think it was on Forza 6 on like a developer copy. Project Cars also has pretty nice graphics. They also have that the rotation of the weather, like the dynamic weather, where it will start, it will get heavier and heavier, heavier, and then lighten up, and then it will change. They also have that, so that's not really a selling point for Forza. And if anything, Project Cars probably has more realistic physics from the consequences from that weather. So they have like snow and stuff too, so that's another selling point for that game actually. It makes Forza look good, adds some different things to it you could change up, but other than that, it doesn't really do too much for it. This is the way I've been explaining the two to my friends, because they're also trying to decide, because we're gonna all buy the same one. I've explained it as you can buy Forza, and it's probably the safer purchase. Like, Forza is most likely the safer purchase of the two, but probably going to be the most boring of the two, because it's not, there's nothing that could go wrong. The game is easy because it's not a full-on simulator. There's not too much new features that we haven't had for the past whatever games for motorsport, the past 6, past 5. I played the past 5. With Project Cars 2, you're gonna buy something that's a little more experimental, because it's a smaller company. They're not backed by Microsoft like Forza is, and it could be a potentially risky purchase based off the first one. So that's that. Project Cars 2, though, on the other hand, you're gonna have more entertainment because there's more different styles of racing, because they also have NASCAR, they have Rallycross now, they have that snow track for Mercedes, which I'm assuming you could take other cars onto. They have point-to-point races like the CPH or whatever, the California Highway. And it's a little more realistic, and you're going to feel that. At least that's noticeable to me, that they're two very different games in terms of racing physics and intensity. But I'll also put it this way. If you have a setup with like a wheel and pedals and a stick and the clutch and all that, I would definitely probably say Project Cars, just because Forza doesn't fully utilize the wheel. It supports the wheel and all of the like accessories to it, but you don't get full rotation still, which is my biggest complaint with the game. If they had full rotation, this would be a completely different situation, but they never do it. I don't know why. So you buy a wheel and you don't get to use the full thing with the 900 degrees of rotation, or 1080 I think they go up to now, some of them. And that's a bummer. But Project Cars will fully utilize your wheel, and that's another thing to look at. So if you're more into a sim experience and you have like a rig to play on and you got all of this stuff, I would definitely say get Project Cars. But keep in mind that there is that risk that the game might just be crap when it comes out. Like the first one, it got better as time went on. It still wasn't the best, but they couldn't do everything. But it seems from this one, and all of the press copies that are out there, and all the people on YouTube that are playing it, and some of the people that have it early, it seems to be pretty good. There might be a little bit of bugs here and there. I heard there's some graphics bugs with like shading and stuff, but pretty sure Forza has that too in its time. And at least in the last one, it did have a little bit of shading stuff. Yeah, basically to conclude this, you can buy the polished and refined and beautiful Forza 7 or you can buy the hard, jagged, and exciting Project Cars. It's basically the difference between, I don't even know how to explain it. It could be like buying a motorcycle is Project Cars 2, and you might crash and you might die. Or you can buy a big, comfy, like, SUV that's all luxury featured and it's nice looking, and that's Forza 7. So it depends on if you want to take the risk and hopefully get the better game with Project Cars, and or if you want to play it safe and buy Forza this time around, because you know Forza is going to always work. They have been having some server issues on 5 and Horizon 3, but I don't think that's anything to worry about. Probably something with that they're setting up for this game, actually, so it's probably going to be fine. But yeah, it's basically which one do you want to get, and if you want to take that risk of getting the more newer game to the table. I personally feel like Project Cars 2 might be the one I go with, just because the car selection in Forza is nice, but I don't think it's too necessary in a motorsport versus a Horizon. If it was a Horizon that was up, that would be, I wouldn't even compare them, honestly, because it's like an arcade game. But the car selection in that game is important. Forza 7, to me, it's not too important. The Forza 6 and 5, I didn't even own that many cars. And I had a ton of money in that game, too. But it was just like, it's more about what's good than what you want. So, maybe in Project Cars 2, the car list doesn't really matter. I don't know. Hopefully I put some ideas out there that will help you make a decision. Not very conclusive. I just basically stated that one's riskier to buy than the other one, but it has reasons for it to be risky, and it has reasons for you to want that one over this one, so it's your decision to make. But hopefully I put some ideas into your head and will help you make that decision a little easier. Anyways, guys, that's it for this one. Thank you for watching. If you enjoy this video and if it's helping you make a decision, hit the like button below. If you disagree with me on anything, comment below. Or if you agree, of course. It would be nice if you agree. Or you could subscribe and help me out and help me grow this channel. And yeah, that's about it. Thanks for watching, guys. See y'all later.